wanted to show you the pennants I have back here. I have the Air Force Museum. Look at this one, Universal Studios. Los Angeles, got the Coliseum there. LA Zoo, Chinese Theater, Dutch Country. Look at this one, Ohio, the Buckeye State. And then all the way over here, Los Angeles International Airport. I've collected these pennants over the years at garage sales and flea markets. I just love them. It's kind of a thing of the past. People used to get them anytime they went someplace. That airport one is kind of my favorite because who the heck wants to remember their trip to the airport?
Come fly with us, you'll always be our guest. Fly with us.
But you got to think, it was a different time. People were thrilled to go on a plane. It meant something. You were going up in the sky. Here's a pennant you could buy for the Newark Airport, which is an airport that I hate to go to.
Well, Newark Liberty International Airport, named the worst.
Here's one for the Detroit Metropolitan Airport. Look at the beautiful colors on it.
That's beautiful, man.
The Pennsylvania Turnpike. Now you got to look back into those times. People were fascinated with the idea that they could drive on a turnpike at that speed. It was so big, it had toll plazas. It looked so much different than anything people had seen before. This turnpike actually drove through a few mountains. I love this one because it has on it the South Midway Service Plaza, which is still there today. This is halfway between Pittsburgh and Harrisburg. We actually stopped there on this channel. Look at this stuff they have on display here. Get like salt and pepper shakers. And I love these. They have multiple Pennsylvania Turnpike pennants. Like you could just stand out there, wave this around and go, yay, Turnpike. A lighter. Oh, look at this. The mascot for the Turnpike up there. All right, got to go back on the road. Look at those toes. I mean, look at that. There's an exit ramp on a pennant. The world's most scenic highway, the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I'm telling you, they were way into the Pennsylvania Turnpike. They even had a Pennsylvania Turnpike song. Take a listen.
Oh, Pennsylvania Turnpike, I love you so.
Imagine eating dinner using your Pennsylvania Turnpike spoon and you could drink out of your Pennsylvania Turnpike glass. Are we using the fine china tonight? Oh yes, bring out the Pennsylvania Turnpike plate. I mean, there's multiple Pennsylvania Turnpike plates you could buy. You could get a whole wall of souvenir Pennsylvania Turnpike plates, which I might do at some point in time.
Everyone, we're using our fancy china.
If you want to treat your comb like an iPhone, you can get it its own case. This is great because it shows where they go through one of the mountains. They go through like the Allegheny Mountains. You can put your cigarette out right there on the tunnel. These are salt and pepper shakers. Ooh, I like this. So this is one of those fans that you would fold out. Those were fun as a kid. You'd get that. The toll booths, of all the things on that scenic highway, they were like a Pennsylvania Turnpike umbrella. I like this one. It just says Indiana Toll Road. I do like the artwork on them. I know that Walt Disney World one, they actually redid that one recently. They made like replicas of it. Kings Island.
Now save a full $5 with coupons from McDonald's.
It's a classic. And then Pennsylvania Dutch Country. You know how you can get there.
Today we're still at it, rebuilding the entire turnpike, putting your toll dollars back into making it America's greatest superhighway.
I picked up this one at a Goodwill. Look at this. So this is a clock. So this is actually hard. You see I paid $3.95 for it. The person that owned it before me wrote number 40 Steelers on there for some reason. Guess number 40 was probably a famous player. Should look up who that was.
I do one thing. I kick this ball through those two poles. Do one thing all the time. You get to be great. Like Kentucky Fried Chicken. They don't try to do everything. Just chicken.
Got an article that says Jameer Jones was number 40. It sounds like number 40 is not retired. I don't know if they retire numbers in football like they do in baseball. I don't follow football, but maybe. All right, take a look at this one. This is the Los Angeles Zoo. A lot of people always think of the San Diego Zoo in Southern California, but the LA Zoo is where they filmed the intro to Three's Company. Check out this classic pennant for the Philadelphia Zoo. The Philadelphia Zoo is where they filmed the movie Rocky.
You know, I was wondering, like, wouldn't mind marrying me very much.
And you have Garfield, when in doubt, punt. And this is interesting because Garfield is in a football scene. The history of pennants dates back at least to the 1800s, and they were always associated with different sports teams, be it high school, college, or professional. Here's a Garfield one that's just for the Indy race fan. If you don't have a favorite, you just like watching the whole show, this is for you. Well, it's the man they call Goldberg. You can hang up your Big Papa Pump pennant. Bret Hart.
Bret Hitman Clark.
Big Sexy the Giant Killer. There's an older one that says Hulkicized. This one's interesting. In the middle, it's got the Pontiac Silverdome. And then it says Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is the winner of the best match of its time. I don't know what event this would have been sold at. It clearly seems to indicate that it was an event that was not related to WWF. No reference to Macho Man. There's no WWF logo. Here's one for the world's first floating McDonald's.
If you walk down the path behind me, go underneath the canopy and onto the boat, it's almost like stepping into another era, as opposed to stepping onto a fast food restaurant.
This is the one in St. Louis. This is not McBarge from Vancouver, Canada. This is cool, a McDonald's sponsored NASCAR. I stumbled across this earlier and I love this. This is a postcard to an old bar that was just covered with pennants. On that subject, these were also postcards. They had a small felt triangle on them. This guy got drunk in Breckenridge. There were a lot of them that had these little children and cutesy expressions from all over the country. Here's one from Augusta. And then this lady wants us to go to Minneapolis.
Hi, this is Fancy Ray for Solo Grocery. Solo has the best meat department in Minnesota.
This is one for Dutch Wonderland, and it's fantastic. Take a good look at the weird chicken costume, and then I think Yogi Bear is in the background. Aquarama. This was in South Philadelphia. It was right on Broad Street. They called it the Theater of the Sea. It closed in 1969. It had only been open for 7 years. I found a number of Sesame Street pennants. This one's from Holiday on Ice. This is from Sesame Place. This is one of my favorite theme parks. This is a classic felt pennant. They have newer ones that they sell in the store. I showed them on a video a while back. Okay, these pennants are great. The only problem is I believe they are too expensive for what they are. They're about $35, $39 each, but I think they look super cool. You know I love pennants. My favorite one is actually none of the ones we've seen. It is this one, showing Oscar the Grouch going over Niagara Falls on a barrel. Souvenir of Circus. This is crazy. This is from the Muppet Baby live show. Imagine going to a theater back in the day and seeing up on stage a giant baby Miss Piggy.
The Muppet Babies are coming to your town with a whole new show.
Man on the Moon, 1969, when Apollo 11 first touched down on the moon. Neil Armstrong walked on the surface. Buzz Aldrin put the American flag into the surface of the moon. You could commemorate that you saw it on the wall of your house or in your den. I've always been fascinated with the moon landing and particularly with the American flag being on the moon. It's one of those things that is in so many different pop culture, movies, television shows, that it's so seared into my brain. And thinking about it, I wanted to know, how many flags did we put up there? Are they still there? Has any other country put a flag on the moon? I dug into it and I served it up. It's going to be right here. Otherwise, YouTube says this is what is best for you, so you can choose either one. And I'll see you back here next time.